Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about a case that has baffled most of us for the last 4.5 years. A case out of Rogersville, Tennessee, Summer Moon Utah Wells, who vanished from her Rogersville home on June 15th, 2021. And tonight we're going to be looking at Summer's victim risk continuum, her true crime profile, and what she falls under, her risk uh, for a abduction. There is a lot to talk about, and we're going to be going over some interesting interviews with the latest information in the Summer Wells case. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is the last day of November, November 30th, 2025. It is currently 6:03 p.m. the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Really do appreciate you. Tonight, we're talking about Summer Moon Utah Wells, who vanished from her Rogersville home on June 15th, 2021. Since then, there has not been a confirmed sighting of Summer and it's kind of left investigators baffled. But it's seemingly, I believe it was November 13th this month, just a couple weeks ago, at the what was it, the 3500 block of Van Hill Road, a tip came in. And this is not a tip like I have seen in the Summer Wells case over the last 4.5 years covering it. Um, it made the news, and if you've been following me, I believe it's very much so linked to around the time Summer vanished. I believe one of these individuals was close by the home. Not only that, we did a members only live the other day. Um, one of these individuals actually owned a home on Beech Creek Road uh, around the time Summer vanished as well. Okay, so one thing I want to kind of go over before we get started, because I think I'm going to probably start doing this with all my cases, uh, because I think it's important for us to not just say, I think this, or I think this, or whatever. And this is something law enforcement does. This is um, a copy of what law enforcement does. They do victimology. I do this privately, but I usually don't do it publicly. But I want to kind of show you guys um, what law enforcement looks at with the victimology. Um, is this person a high risk for, uh, the crime that could or may not have been committed? And it's something very, very useful. Um, It really has. It's been crickets for way far too long. It really has. Good to see everyone in chat, guys. If you don't mind, before we get started, for my live chat and my replay crew, how are you? Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And share the live out for extra bonus points. Let me say hello to a few here in chat. Bliss, good to see you. Seeking Justice, LS, Chester, good to see you. Jess, Sherry Lean, good to see you. Bliss, Renee, Jennifer, Brandy, um, Maud, good to see you. Wild Angels, Grace, Golden, Ruby, Angel of Light, Wild Roxy, hello. Mary, D. Hicks, good to see you. Jackie, hello. Jess, bonjour. Brandy and Indy, Roswell, Seaglass, Catherine, Vivian, thank you, darling. Let's see here. Tina, hello. Funny Face Brenda, Peggy, Cindy, hello. Chris, thank you so much. Adele, good to see you. Oma, hello. Good to see you all. Jackie, Sheila, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining me. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button. Would be very, very thankful for that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do, and this is something that law enforcement does, the victimology, and it's very important um, on this. And this is the federal style child victimology. But there it's going to have the victims information: Summer Moon Utah Wells, age 5, date of birth, if she was in school, if she wasn't, developmental level, any diagnosis, allergies, if she lived at multiple residents, was there any custodial uh, problems, things like that. Now, when we go to this right here, we're oops, hold on one second. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. her supervision level, was she let me find it right here, 1 second. Her supervision level, was it what would you think Summer's supervision level is? Was she supervised by minors? Was there an unreliable supervision pattern, intermittent or consistent? How would you think Summer's supervision level was? I'm glad Dawn and Candace haven't said anything. Yeah, I would say, intermittent personally, because I mean, the thing that I will say for Dawn and Candace is they never left the kids home alone. Now they said that they left them home alone that day, but Dawn was home. I'm just telling you that right now. So I would place it intermittent personally. That's what I would do. Um, Now, caregiver behavior. Was there arguments in homes? Um, Drug or alcohol abuse, right? So check. We're gonna check drug, alcohol abuse. Yes. Was there unusual visitors? Well, there was unusual visitors all the time in that house. Um, so that's another one. Emotional outburst, definitely. We've heard sleep deprivation. Don't know about that. Uh, did they leave home unexpectedly? Um, Deleted messages from media. Uh, Social media. I can't say that. I know that they deleted their phone. So you might be able to do that. Left property unsecured. Um, I don't know about that one. Okay. The child's daily routine. If used math, yes. Sleep deprivation. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Uh, Typical wake time, they're going to want to know typical activities, typical bedtime, routine, stability. Had the stability in the home recently changed? Uh, Structured routine, chaotic household, uh, schedule. And I would say it was pretty chaotic because I don't believe there was a structure in that home whatsoever, right? Now, which possible ways could a child leave or be taken, right? And so we could say the front door and the back door, right? Um, Maybe a window, right? And the basement access is through the back door, so I'm not gonna the basement the back door is technically basement access, right? Um, the child could be taken from the yard, but they said Summer was in the home, right? Was it secured? Well, it was during the daytime, so with people there, so I wouldn't say it was necessarily secured um, at that time as well. And the one thing that was asked about was the door locked downstairs. Is it true they have an underground tunnel? No, they don't have an underground tunnel. No. So I don't. I would say there is definitely conflicting statements about was the door um, secured or not, right? That's a big one for sure. Okay. Stranger abduction indicators. This is what they're going to ask. Quick disappearance, witness reports or vehicle of a person. There was this truck, so that would be one that they would have saw. Child taken from bed, no. Forced entry, no. There was no sign of struggle. And registered offenders nearby, yes. Okay, so there was that. Now, family caregiver involvement indicators. This is a big one right here, right? Who saw the truck? It was a delivery person who saw the truck around that time. Okay, conflicting stories. That's a definite. Emotional flatness. Do you think their stories were flat? That is what Don says. Don and Candace say that the CPS was there the day before. Yes. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you, my friend. Emotional flatness. I would say a delayed 911 call. There's the way that they did it, especially. Child last seen by caregiver only. That is for sure. Behavior on camera interviews odd. Uh, I would say for sure. Refusal to search. Definitely. Past DV or CPS history. Check, check for both of those. Um, Another one is sleeping through disappearance, right? Do you, I mean, not in this case, but that is definitely one in, like Sebastian's case and Jack and Lily's for sure. Overly detailed or robotic statements. Mm, I don't know about that one. I'm not going to check that one. Missing items of child's. Was there anything? I think Candace Wells was passed down. I don't think there was anything missing of Summers. Just her clothes that I can recall. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would say 7 out of 10 on that one. So that's pretty a big thing right there. This would indicate family or caregiver involvement indicators. That says a lot, right? Child vulnerability status. Are they nonverbal? No, Summer was not nonverbal. She was not special needs. Was she easily led? Mm, I don't know. What about her small physical size? Do you believe was Summer smaller for her age, or was she about right? Yeah, I would say she's a little bit smaller for her size. Okay. Unable to defend themselves. Um, I would say she would not be able to defend herself, of course. Trusting with strangers, I don't know. Epilepsy or seizures, no. Required medications, not that I know of. And autistic, no. Because when you're autistic, especially if you're under the age of 12 and you have eloped, then you're going to, that adds even more of a risk. What is a broken dream? What's the question? Okay, digital forensics, right? Okay. Child has no device. She's 5, so child has no device. Was there tablet activity? Not that we're aware of. Search history, gaming friends, stranger messages, location tracking on off. I don't think that really applies much to her, Summer at that point. Okay, family devices, right? Suspicious deletions. That is for sure. Dawn told us from 3:30, everything was wiped. His, Candace's, and Candace's phone. Okay. Sudden social media disappearance. No, they didn't do that. New accounts created. Uh, don't know anything about that. And messages unsent. Right. I do believe she was definitely malnourished for sure. Didn't Candace tell Chris that she still had a phone? Yep, she sure did. She sure did. Sure did. Oops, what am I doing? Okay. All right. All right. Now, here is the top 20 impactful red flags. No press appeal from caregivers. Um, I, uh, I mean, Don and Candace did do interviews. Candace really won't do uh, interviews. She did a couple, maybe, but it took them 13 days, right? Okay, so let's see here. All right. Caregiver defensive online. Absolutely. Refusal to speak to law enforcement. Um, they spoke to law enforcement. Delayed missing report. I mean, I believe that they did, but we can't say that they did. Contradicting 911 call statements. We don't have the 911 call. No active search participation. That's a definite. Focused on blame rather than finding a child. That is absolute. Social media post instead of cooperation. Um, actually, I forgot about that. Uh, Ronnie Lawson said that they're not cooperating now, so we need to actually add that. Right? They do the social media post, uh, and all of that stuff rather than cooperate now. Witnesses contradict household account. We don't know about that. Drug activity in home for sure. CPS activity in home, for sure. Dangerous romantic partner present. Um, what would you say about that one? And that is true. Yeah, she did stop speaking to police after that. The basement was a dungeon. So yes, okay. Okay. No verified sightings beyond caregiver. That is correct. Missing clothing, shoe of child. Mm, I don't know about that. Suspicious cleanup activity. We don't know about that. Caregiver leaves after disappearance. They certainly did. Last seen sleeping stories. No. Caregiver behavior too calm. I would say so. Phone pings missing in key time window. I don't know about that. Neighbors heard yelling before disappearance. Yes. But I want to make it clear that law enforcement said Jody Sue's, uh, which is the neighbor, could not be verified. I personally do believe it, though. So out of the top 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 out of 20 of the top impactful red flags. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 for sure. Right? That's a lot. That is a lot. Abduction versus wandering versus family involvement. Wandering indicators. Well, she's young, so that no autism, easily distracted, don't know. She does love outdoors. And a history of wandering. No. Okay. Home environment risk. Stable and calm. No. Chaotic. Yes. Frequent screaming and fighting. Yes. Unknown visitors. Yes. Drug activity. Yes. Hoarding. Yes. Unsafe sleeping area. For sure. Doors unlocked. They said they locked their doors. Windows accessible. You couldn't see in them or anything like that. So I would say no. Child can leave unnoticed. Mm, there's a lot of dogs and kids around there. Firearms present unsecured. Uh, I would say yes on that one. Right? The timeline reliability, is the caregiver fully consistent, partially consistent, or multiple versions? Definitely multiple versions, right? And they're going to be contradicted by evidence for sure. Um, What else do we got? Contradicted by other witnesses. No timeline provided. Critical timeline gaps. And they're going to ask about, is there any timeline gaps? 0 to 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes to 60 minutes, 1 to 3 hours, or 3+ hours from missing account. Now, in my opinion, Summer went missing around, this is just my opinion. I think she went missing around 3:30, 3:15 to 3:30, and they called at about 6:30, but they say the official timeline, they called it 6:30, saying that she was missing. So I would put 1 to 3 hours personally. Okay. Location, environment around home. Woods nearby? Yes. Water nearby? Yes. Steep terrain? Yes. Abandoned structures? I don't know about that. Highways? No. Unfenced yard? Yes. Nearby S offenders? No cameras? Poor lighting? Rural isolation? Okay. Who supervises the child the most often? Right? And I would say that would be the biological parents. Uh, Probably more than anyone. You could also put a grandparent there. Home environmental risk, right? Um, was it stable, chaotic? Definitely chaotic. I would say there would be frequent visitors, unsafe adults present, dirty, unsafe living conditions, hoarding, drug presence or paraphernalia, and then weapons. There's a lot there, right? And these are all questions that law enforcement, it is a textbook case of horrors. Yes. These are all the questions that law enforcement ask. Thank you, Laura. I did. Hopefully you did too. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. I think it's very interesting. That way you can see what law enforcement looks at, right? Not just, oh, I think this. Let's look at it here. Was there financial instability? Yeah. DV? Yeah. Drug alcohol use? Yeah. Overcrowding? I don't know about that. Homelessness, not for them, but there had been in the past of Don and Candace. Recent move, no. And CPS history, yes. Right? Now, caregiver behavioral risk factors, substance abuse, yes. DV, yes. Mental health instability, yes. Criminal activity, yes. Aggression toward child, in my opinion, yes. Neglect indicators, absolutely. Leaving child unsupervised. Again, I say Don and Candace never left those kids unsupervised, but they say that they did that day, so we have to check yes. Prior CPS involvement, yes. Evading law enforcement, yes. Social media oversharing, definitely, right? And minimizing child's needs, yes, right? Guys, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying this. uh, and would really appreciate it. Caregiver cooperation. Were they fully cooperative, uh, selective about cooperating, or uncooperative? Providing inconsistent stories, I would say they would be selectively cooperative. But now law enforcement says they're being uncooperative. So I think that they were selectively cooperative in the beginning. I think they're uncooperative now. They are definitely provided inconsistent stories. They have definitely blamed others, and they are not answering the police now. Uh, they are on social media, but no appeals. Okay, school and community risk indicators. Um, School attendance patterns. Well, Summer was not in school yet. She was supposed to be starting this fall, but I believe that itself is a risk. Wouldn't you think so? Because it's to me, it's very interesting. While right before she's supposed to start school, she goes missing. Oh, thank you so much, Bliss, darling. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you give our Bliss a big, big thank you. Huge risk, Justin. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Thank you again, Bliss. Appreciate that very much, honey. Okay. Teacher staff observations. Was there bruises, injuries, hunger, dirty clothing? I mean, I would say for the boys, definitely dirty clothing. Fear of going home, I don't know. Withdrawn, I don't know. Aggressive outbursts, I don't know. I don't know really any of that stuff. So, child vulnerabilities. Well, they were young age. She was not special needs that we are aware of. She was verbal. She was not autistic. No ADHD that we know. Developmental delays, I don't know. Speech, language delays, don't know. Medical dependency, I would say no. Small physical size, I would say yes. Unable to defend herself, I would say yes. Easily influenced, maybe, probably. Exposure to dangerous adults. Is there RSOs nearby? Yes. But I would say, in my opinion, it's hard to get up on that hill, but yes. Adults with DV history, yes. Adults with rug use, yes. Caregiver's new partner, no. But in a lot of cases, we cover yes. Caregiver's friend, not at that time, so no. Neighbors with criminal history, yes. Known individuals, yes. People sleeping over often, yes. Online adults contacting a child, yes. Because Candace certainly contacted children, and in my opinion, so did Dawn. Routine and daily pattern, daily structure, consistent routine, no structure, late nights. I would say no structure and late nights. Children awake during adult partying, absolutely. Meals irregular, absolutely. Child left to self-care, I say no, but they say yes in that because they said the kids were alone that day. Excessive screen time, yes. Where does the child spend most of its time? Home, neighbor's house, outdoors alone, in bed alone, with friends unsupervised, with caregiver's partner. I would say outdoors, but I wouldn't say alone. I would say she would spend it with her brothers. Recent behavior changes: fearful, withdrawn, clingy, sleep issues, nightmares, regression, bedwetting, baby talk, uh, new anxiety, new phobias, asexual as behavior, um, sudden secrecy, or excessive crying. Don't really know any of those. High risk incident patterns. Has the child witnessed violence? Yes, we know that because of Summer's 911 call when they were absolutely being violent. Child left with unsafe adults. I would say yes at times. Overdose environment. I mean, there was a potential for overdose, but I don't know the word environment. I mean, it was around them. Was there car accidents, erratic caregiver behavior, unsafe housing? Definitely. Firearms unsecured? Probably. Child punished excessively? Perhaps. Parent admitted intoxication during care? Well, we've seen it with our own eyes. So, child located near hazards, woods, water, roads? Yes. Okay. Event risk, event specific risk, disappearance or injury. They want to know like the last 24 hours before the event, inconsistent caregiver timeline, unverified last sightings, missing witnesses, child last seen by siblings, no adult can verify final moments, caregiver slept through the incident, caregiver distracted, phone, drinking, arguing. I would say the caregiver was distracted. She was helping, allegedly helping her mom put a knee brace on. Sudden crisis or fight in home. Environmental dangers: woods, water, steep terrain. Yes, yes, yes. Abandoned buildings? Yes. Roads, highways, there's roads, but unlocked exits? Not so sure. Unsecured windows. And then they're going to calculate all of these. I would say she would be at a pretty high risk. Caregiver inconsistencies, new romantic partners, sudden school absences, injuries, unexplained bruises, child expresses fear, unsafe home environment, parents intoxicated during incident, last sightings unreliable, no press appeal for caregiver from caregiver or parent, caregiver focused on social media, child last seen late at night. So there's that. I thought yes, there was no school with her. Oh, thank you, Miss Catherine. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate your support, my dear. Thank you so much, Miss Catherine. Love you, darling. Appreciate you very much. Lino Me says, one of my theories is Candace befriended a worker that was in the area trimming, and he was a predator. See, mine is the actual opposite. Mine is Dawn befriended one of these people. Dawn was down there talking to him the next day. Now, Candace and Grandis was when they were allegedly leaving that morning, they were talking with Randy, a guy named Randy, and that was while they were getting ready to go to the hospital. Bet by FBI, I called owner of. What is that where the wind blows? Tree trimmer said Don was there. Yeah, they did. They said Don was there between 8:30 and 9:30, I think it was. Yeah. Hmm. And Randy didn't have a red Toyota, but his dad did. And I can tell you, people that know them, that Randy was the one who drove that Toyota. Even though it wasn't in his name, he was the one that drove it most of the time. Yeah. Yep. So there's that. Okay. Let me show you some stuff here. Oh my God. Let me show. Did I ever show y'all this picture? I didn't mean to pull it up, but this is what these kids lived in. Look at that wall. Do you see that? That's criminal. Funny face Brenda, they do have homes on the home on Beech Creek. Isn't that crazy? They just lived in absolute filth. Now, this right here, this vehicle was it the Suburban? And look at all those buckets in the back. This is Candace writing this is one of her Facebook posts because Don was cheating on Candace at the time. Yes, Elizabeth, I do. This is what she posted. Math whore. D. Essen math whore. That's right. I mean, poor is one, that poor doesn't mean dirty, and, wealthy doesn't mean clean either. This is one of Candace's posts. Bish, I will put you in a trunk and help people look for you. Stop playing with me. That didn't age very well. This is one of her boys that he's got a lizard actually biting his lip. I just got it where you can see the lip and the lizard. That's an actual lizard. Backwoods driving Candace. They had a big old red van. You can see Summer right here in the back. And this is what it was like up on the hill. Now they bought the boys these bikes, which is nice. It's these Coleman. I don't know if they're gas or what, but there was a lot of vehicles up there. Always. Look at how many toolboxes. There's a toolbox there, a toolbox there, and a toolbox there. I don't know, Brenda. I've wondered that myself, actually. Candace with an abscess, and then Summer in the back. They're in the, but they were always near the water. And this just is a little unsafe, if you ask me. The kids and all of them being around there. Yeah, that was common. That was common. Yeah, you're right, Cindy. Same, Sarah. I grew up poor and we were clean. Damn clean. This is Summer here. She looks very, very, very pale here. Doesn't she? Poor thing. She looks very pale here. That trunk comment is chilling. Trunk comment? She looks very, very pale here. Yeah, she's clearly skinny. Too skinny. This is the day Don bought his white truck. Signing the papers to it. Summer. I wonder where this camper went. Does anyone know where this camper went right here? You see up in the left corner? Hold on, let me fix my ear. 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'd like to know where that camper went. Candace. And they had a red truck. A red Ford truck. This is Dawn when they were building on to the house. Yeah, for sure, Adele. Candace, and you see Summer, she's smaller there in the back. They just had like so many different vehicles up there and a bunch of junk. The red Ford van, an aerial view. The van, this was Grandma's bus. And you went up a hill. Oops, you went up a hill here, and then you circled around their house. This is summer they were at the she needs a bra. Yeah, damn right she does. Uh, at a carnival. For those of you who don't know, Candace was a carny once upon a time. And she would you know what carnies are like. I don't have to explain that to you. This was the inside of the house. The plumbing and the wiring. And this is the thing. Dawn knew better. This is so unsafe. So unsafe. Dawn was just fucking lazy. Wire, plumbing, all of that. Oh, thank you, Jam. But he's a really good carpenter, though, CZ. He just didn't do it for his home. He builds or finishes drywall beautifully. And he's a hard worker, but the thing is, like, he just did not provide that for his family, you know? And that's the sad thing of it. And letting the lizard bite her hand. And got the home for free. Yeah. Well, you know why? Actually, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. You know how Dawn actually Dawn's mother left it to left the property to the Mormon church. I think it's the Mormon church. Or not the I think she was Mormon or Seventh-day Adventist. I can't remember. He's Seventh-day Adventist, but I think she was Mormon. And Don could only have the property when he was married. So that's why he ended up marrying Candace, so he could get the property. Right? So that's why Don married. It's just, I mean, you can just see the wires and the plumbing and stuff. It's just a fucking mess. And, you know, they just had plywood floors. Okay. 1 second here. All right, so I want to 1 second. I'm reading something, sorry. Also getting okay. Don also said that the reason they called CPS was because they said that the kids were using pew-pews. Now, he says that is untrue, but I will say that if you go back, let me find it here. This is old. I made, so I don't really necessarily believe this anymore, but I'll just for the picture's sake. This is the kids, and he's got, all that was in 2018 when that picture occurred. Candace was a hot mess. You mean, yeah. All right, guys, I want to go over an interview now that Dawn did with Chris from the interview room. And link is provided in the description. Our friend Chris from the interview room. Mods, would you please drop Chris's link, if you don't mind, for my replay chat? It's in the description down below. Okay, so check this out. If this call doesn't make your mouth drop, I don't know what will.
As soon as I pulled up, I didn't get a call back from Candace saying, "Oh, we found her," and I come all the way out from Jonesboro, and I probably made it in 30 minutes at least, if not faster. But I beat all the police there, and I went straight to the bottom property, and I seen everybody looking. I knew she was gone, because she don't go away from the house, ever.
Yeah.
And so
go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just knew. I knew right then, that very second, that she was gone.
Okay, what inside of you brought that so quickly, brother? Where did you come from on that?
Well, I knew they was looking around the hill and everything up top there, and I drove straight to the bottom there where that little funky shed is there, and I.
There is something with this shed. I'm telling you, there is something with this shed. This was the first place Don went. I also think he went there to gather his shit, but because once he went up on that hill, he realized that it's when it started. That's when the questioning begins and all of that. But the reason I think something happened with this shed, one reason is because he doesn't want to speak about whether he went in that shed then or later. He can remember everything else, but he can't remember whether or not he went in that shed. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate it. And the kids were supposedly down next to the creek. The neighbor, Jody Sue, was supposedly down there. But also, let me show you something on a Google map here. If you go to, remember the tree trimmers were there that day, and they were cutting a path. Let me show you here. Bear with me as I show you this. Okay. They were cutting a path, and this is at the time it might be a little bit harder to see now, but you can still see it. A lot of it's grown back up, but here is the mountain that they live on, Ben Hill Road. Okay, and they own all of this, and they own this over here, right? And this is the little funky shed Don is talking about. It's on Beech Creek, and how you get to Ben Hill Road is how you get to their house is you get off Beech Creek, or you get off the Beech Creek, and then you go into Ben Hill Road, right? And then you go up here, and then you go up through here, up the mountain. Okay. But Don, when he, he's on his way back home, 45 minutes away, he says he made in 20 minutes, he stops right here while the police and everyone are up here. If you look right here, this is where they were cutting. They were cutting right here, and they were also cutting this big line right here. I was up on Simpson in the winter of 2021, and all of this was just absolutely bare. This is a big line area that they cut. And it makes me wonder if Don was down here talking to any police or tree trimmers that day, and is that why he called and said that there's someone up on the hill trying to touch. There's that camper. He moved it down here. The kids. Now, this was last taken in 2013. So I guess he got rid of it since then. But right, they cut this line all the way up through there. And that goes to their house. So this is where Don stopped that day. Whoops. Was right here. In this building. And he won't say whether or not he went in that building or not. Now, to get to their house, though, you have to go down this road. And it's the first driveway on the right. You go right down here and you go just a little curve, and then it's right there. And he won't answer that. I find that very interesting. I think he was talking to a guy named Randy that day, just like Candace, when Grandis was talking to Randy that morning.
Went down the hill by the creek in that little four-wheel drive Subaru. I went straight down there to the creek, and I seen the boys down there, and they know not to travel alone. They was together, and I seen my neighbor walking around, and I knew my heart just sank right there. I just knew it that somebody took her, because she just don't go nowhere. But she would never leave.
Thank you so much, Miss Lolo. Appreciate your support, my dear. Thank you so much. Lily says, Justin, thank you for covering these missing children's cases. You have a huge heart. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. You are at 19 months, my girl. Appreciate your support, my dear. Thank you so very much.
Top of the, burn the house there. No way. Yeah, no, I mean, what about the boys? What were they doing when you saw them down there by the shed? They weren't by the shed. They was down they were, if you look down where the power lines are, you go straight down, they were looking, walking around looking for Summer. And I knew I just knew she was gone. But trying to tell them.
Looking down where they were cutting around the power lines. Interesting.
Police that and everything when they just pulled up, and then they blocked all the roads because I guess they took the time to call in search teams and everything like that, thinking that she was just lost in the woods. And I was trying to tell them she's not lost in the woods. Somebody has taken her. I tried to tell them that, and they never did listen to that.
Yes, I know.
What was your feeling as to why they weren't listening? What's your gut? I'm not sure why. I'm not.
Now, like I've always said, if I was in Don's case and I lived where I lived, which was, on Ben Hill Road at the time, that would not be my first indication that someone took my child from on top of a mountain while she was inside. That would not be my go-to. I would think, oh, she's walked off, if anything. It would not be that someone came up on a mountain and took her while I was outside with grandma and 3 boys was up there and 15 dogs. That wouldn't be my first indication personally. But he knew someone came up there and abducted her. Why would you think
Exactly sure why that is. I mean, probably because they figured that she was just lost. I don't know what I'm talking about. And and they had they all had different questions and this and that. And,
No, the thing is, it's not that you don't know what you're talking about, Don. It's why do you suspect that? There has to be a why you suspect that. You don't just, I just knew. Well, why do you just know? What is it that makes you think someone came up there and abducted her? Because I can give you a lot more reasoning that someone would not come up on that hill and abduct a child in broad daylight, very far away from the car, with a bunch of dogs, adults outside, children supposedly inside. I mean, you are several miles away from even an interstate at that point. This doesn't happen. People who abduct children are very close to their vehicle because they have to be ready to leave quickly, very quickly.
Probably because, many times before, it's always been the parents too. And so,
Not many times, most of the time, it is someone within the home. Not many times, most. Overwhelming.
Or whatever, I'm not sure, but I just knew that she was headed down the road somewhere in somebody's car, and no matter what I was saying, it just wasn't getting through. I just felt like I was just totally lost. I was in shock. Yeah. In complete shock. Now, when you got there, describe for me what the scene looked
Listen
like.
to this.
What was going
Very
on?
important part.
Well, the police started coming in and everything, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go take my car and I'm going to go look here and there, and drive around. And I drove, like I say, I was in shock. I didn't know which way to go. So I tried to drive down, and I got down there on the road, and there were these people bringing their trailers in and their four-wheelers, and all of Ben Hill and Beech Creek was just bottlenecked. Traffic jam. Couldn't get nowhere. Right. Couldn't go nowhere. And then what about, now are these all cops or are they search and rescue? Well, they were mostly, police and, volunteers, search and rescue or whatever like that. Okay. But I didn't, I probably didn't clarify on the phone, either that she was abducted because I didn't know at the time. But like I say, when I pulled up there, I knew that she was gone. And maybe I didn't.
What makes him, when he pulls up, what makes him just know versus him being on the phone? When he pulled up, he just knew.
Didn't communicate that to them.
Now, Jose said when I interviewed him that Summer had walked, around before. And Don and Candace says, no, never happened.
Like I should have, or what was, what I felt. Well, I had a few times. I said, she's not here. I come to that conclusion right away. But what brought you to that conclusion? That was
right.
Pretty quick, right?
Exactly. What brought you to that?
Just knowing her, and that because we tried to scare the heck out of her and let her know, because we do have bears, right? And we do, them dogs. Everybody keeps.
Okay, now I want you to listen to what he is saying. He is making virtually zero sense here. He is saying someone came up there and abducted his child, and he just knows. But Chris asked him, well, what makes you think that? Well, we tried to scare the heck out of her because we do have bears. What does bears have to do with a stranger abduction? There's nothing to rationalize the two. It's two different possibilities. And if a bear or a wild animal attacks anyone, which is extraordinarily rare, they leave evidence, and they leave a lot of it. Right? They don't have a cleanup crew. Okay? They don't have a cleanup crew. They don't care. They're wild animals.
Talking with them dogs, but they're the stupidest damn things, and they also will go away for days and then come back, and I don't know where the heck they go, but they weren't there that day.
I know that he's saying that, but he's still making no sense.
So the dogs, you think maybe the dogs got, what's your thought on why the dogs weren't there? I don't know where they go, but there's been times, like I say, they've disappeared for days, and they'll come dragging back all tired and beat up and hungry, and stuff like that.
But here's the interesting thing. The dogs were there when the police showed up. But they were on vacation while Summer was apparently being abducted. And I guess so was the dog with the puppies right beside the basement door where Summer would have been allegedly taken out or abducted. That's kind of convenient.
Yeah. We don't know where they go. When I told Candace she needed a zoo license. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I'm like, I know. So what time did you get there? Do you remember? Well, they say, it's really strange because I thought it was 5:30, but the 911 call says 6:30, 6:20.
I thought it was 5:30, but the 911 call says 6:30 or 6:26. Why'd you think it was 5:30, Don?
26 is when the first call come in. And that could have well be. Sometimes I work till sunset, A lot of times I have been here lately.
But Don, you weren't working that day. You went after Summer was taken to show that you had an alibi. And law enforcement knows what time you started that car. They tore your cars apart.
I thought it was 5:30, but the strange thing of it is when we went to the Hawkins County,
listen to this.
Our lie detectors and everything like that, they took all of our phones. And then magically, all of our phone records from 3:30 on that day have been deleted.
Magically, Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Now, if we go to the photo of Summer in the back of the car with the milk jug photo, right? If we go to that, well, that is at 3:09. And let me see if I can find this 1 second. And if we go to that, that's at 3:09. Okay. Let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to show you a photo here. And if you remember TBI, they said Summer went missing early afternoon. Early afternoon is considered noon to like 3:30-ish. 3:30-ish. This is at 3:09. They make it home and pull in the driveway about 3:11 to 3:15. 3:15. Now, magically, at 3:30, Dawn, Candace, and Grandis, all of their phones are deleted from 3:30 onward. And if you will go to the Van Hill Road, where they just recently searched, there is, again, I don't believe the owner of that property has anything to do with it. I do believe it's someone of his family member, in my opinion. But if you go to, 1 second here. If you go to Ziggy's video and you listen to what time the other tree trimmers say that they left that day, they say that they left anywhere from 3 to 3:30 that day. 3 to 3:30 that day. Which, in my opinion, means Summer was taken between 3:15 and 3:30. 3:15 and 3:30. And Dawn, Candace, and Grandis' phone was deleted, they say, from 3:30 onward. Law enforcement will never delete anything. If they delete anything, they cannot use anything on that computer. That's why they only download things from your phone. So magically, or unmagically, actually, I think Dawn, Candace, and Grandis deleted the shit off of there.
You know, a lot of times I have been here lately, but yeah. But I thought it was 5:30. But the strange thing of it is when we went to the Hawkins County to do our lie detectors and everything like that, they took all of our phones.
Yes.
And then
yes, and allegedly, this guy named Randy allegedly did not show up for work the next day. Did not show up for work the next day.
Magically, all of our phone records from 3:30 on that day have been deleted. Oh, interesting. Yeah, me, my wife's, and my or her mother have all been.
All three of them have been deleted. Wow. Boy, that's something. Not, they didn't make an accident on one phone. They did it on 3 phones, Don wants you to believe. Yeah.
Deleted from 3:30 on. So they had your phones that day then? Yes, sir. And when did they give them back to you? They give them back, fairly quickly, but we never even looked at them until about, a week or two ago. We had some detectives that we talked to, a lot, and they wanted to know exactly this information, and we all looked, and it was all gone, deleted. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, thank you so much, Bliss. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you 13 months. Over 1,500 people in here and 736 likes. Hit the like for a chicken party. Justice is coming for sweet summer. Love you, pearls. Thank you so much, Bliss. Really, really do appreciate that. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get to 1,000 thumbs up so we can have a mother chicken party. You don't want to miss the mother chicken party. Okay? I'm just saying. Appreciate you guys being here. Okay, let's go.
Yes. So what about when you, in your gut, I was watching the news, you on the news channel, and when the reporter asked you, what's your fears and stuff, and what is your thought process about where do you think she is? Well, at first I thought, it's got to be some sicko.
Okay, we're going to get to that, but I want to direct current says, I remember it being said 3 phones were thrown in a pond lake stream. Did any of you remember that? Yes. And I think it was 2 phones, if I recall correctly. And I got a recording of Candace saying that. And I did turn that into the FBI as well. The FBI does know that. And I now know a location that I've recently just learned the actual location of where that is. And I have also turned that into the FBI. And how do I know where the location is? Because Candace said it with her own fucking lips recently. Didn't you, Candace? Candace talks to a lot of people. She talks to a lot of people. She just gabbing away.
Hillbilly druggie, drug her off in the woods or something, or somebody put her in her car and took her not too far away or whatever like that. But I'm starting to wonder if it isn't some high-end thing. Maybe somebody's seen her on Facebook, because my wife was always posting stuff on Facebook. It could have been, she could be anywhere. I haven't. My mind just goes back and forth. I don't have any idea. But I figured kind of that. Well, a lot of people are talking about the Hammonds and that guy I fired, Ajan Dudley.
So here he talks about the Hammonds. And he talks about Dudley. Now, Dudley is the guy that Dawn worked with during the time around about summer went missing. And Dudley had an alibi. He was seen on camera, all of that. So Dudley is, I personally, what happened to my mic? I personally think that Dudley and him were just co-workers, and they couldn't stand each other because they were both kind of one and the same people. Mallory, thank you so much, my dear, for 2 months coming in clutch. How you doing, girl? Appreciate you. Very coming my boy is coming, girl. I think we're getting somewhere. Finally, hopefully, I pray to the good Lord. Thank you so much for your support, Miss Mallory. Appreciate you. Direct Current, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate the support. Truly. Does that lady that has the farm animals that thought they were still innocent still believe that? No, I don't think so. I heard that Candace and Dawn screwed her over. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. Dawn and Candace only have people in their life that they can use, and people will take up for them, and they'll say, "Oh, well, they're not bad people. They're not this." But then when they can no longer use you anymore, you're done. And she would post their cash apps and all of this, and that's what they wanted her for, right?
When I fired him, he was so damn high on something. It was unbelievable. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen people on meth? I've seen people on meth before, and this was beyond that. He was, I don't know. He showed up one day, and he was running late, and he says, "Oh, man, I've been out helping my..." And he says, "Oh, man, I've been out helping my uncle clear land somewhere, blah, blah, blah." And this is a man that let him in my business and give him 50%, and all he had to do was show up. And he's already given me excuses, but whatever he was on, it was bad because, he wouldn't listen to anything I said. It's hard to explain, but he was just fighting me every inch of the way on everything. And I give in and would let him do, okay, you want to do that, fine. But
now, in my opinion, Dawn wants to discredit Dudley as much as possible because Dawn was not at work the day that he claimed, and he took the Subaru the day before. And listen, Dudley is a nice guy when he is straight, right? Like when he's not on the junk and all that. He suffers from, an addictive personality, as a lot of people do, and drugs changes people. But when he's off of it, he's a really good guy. I don't think in a million years he would hurt a kid at all. Oh gosh, Kelly, thank you so much, honey. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much, Miss Kelly. Love you and appreciate you so very much, my dear. Thank you so much, honey. I didn't know he was not at work that day. Well, he says he was, but I can give you, and I have 20 different times where Don has blown his own cover. The tree trimmer said that Don was there from 8:30 or 9. They was up there at 8:30 or 9:30 that morning and saw and talked to Don. Also, what was it? Don has actually told someone, and they've got a text message from Don that says that he was not that he was home at 11 something that morning. And Candace told Jenna and I've shown you guys the text messages from that Don was at home at 3 o'clock.
He thought that there was all kind of dirt in his mud, and he wanted me to throw it away and get him some new stuff, and it blew up. And he's like, man, that's got you just put it back in there or what? And just like yelling at me. And then later that day, he's like, just go home. He was throwing mud all over the floor, a brand new house, throwing mud all over the floor. And it took him 2 hours to do a 20-minute thing. And he was just so hyper focused on it. That's a word I picked up off of YouTube about meth, but hyper focused. I can't remember the rest, but
Don wants to think that he got his education from hey, Common Sense, good to see you. That he got his education from I just can't even say it, from YouTube about math addiction. Whenever he got it from his math pipe and his lighter. That's where he got his education from. Don loves the Coca-Cola and the math. It is well established and well known. He is, the thing about it is, like, he is so sensitive about being called a math head. Like, he's so sensitive about it. I mean, I don't know. It's just very weird. And, you know, you see, I showed you a photo of Candace calling the woman Don slept with the math whore. Well, she said that because she is indeed a math whore. And it kind of takes a math whore to know a math whore, right?
Absolutely hyper focused on this one little thing that took him 2 hours, and he just couldn't get it right. He was frustrated and just going on, and finally he says, why don't you just go home? I can handle this house. I just hired this guy like 2 weeks ago. Right. I've been with Tucker Drywall for 13 years this time, you know, and so he says, go home and all that, and I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. So I go to lunch, I come back, I tell him, go home. You know, I mean, go home now. Get the hell off this job and don't come back. Well, he got mad. He tried everything in the world and anything he could to get at me and get me fired. He called my bosses constantly, harassed them constantly, come out on their jobs constantly. If anybody knew where I was at that time, it would have been him. You know, and the day after I fired him was when summer got gone.
Hold on. What's that?
The jobs constantly. If anybody knew where I was at that time, it would have been him. You know, and the day after I fired him was when summer got gone. What? Say that again? The day after I fired him is when summer disappeared.
The day after I fired him is when summer disappeared. I find it, hey, Deception, good to see you, my friend. Hey, Deception, can you email me? I tried to look for your email. There's my email. If you can shoot me an email. I wanted to ask you about something. So the day Don says he fired Dudley the day before summer got gone. That's how he says it, got gone, which I find very, very, very interesting. I don't find that a coincidence. To me, that makes me think that, and also CPS was there, according to Don, the day before Summer went missing, and he fires Dudley that day as well. Not so sure about that. I don't trust Don whatsoever. Thank you so much, Angel. Appreciate your idea. Thanks for all you do for Thank you so much. Love you so much, Angel. Thank you so much. You are a gem, truly.
Oh, interesting. Yes, and he has ties with Tony Hammonds, the guy. He has ties with Tony Hammonds to Hammond Drywall, and them Hammond boys and their gang were all out
Deception.
doing burglaries in broad daylight. According to people I've talked to and met here and there, they were out doing all kinds of stuff and drugs. I think there's a drug connection. There's the Hammond Drywall connection. See, Tony or Ajan or.
Do you hear what he says there? Now, Tony Hammond was brought up so much during the Summer Wells case. And it's amazing how he says Tony, and then he says Dudley, and then something else.
Dudley, H.M. Dudley is what was I going to say now? But
see, that got him a little caught up. It got him a little caught up. It got him. It threw him off right there.
Let's see. Okay. I know he's on probation. But yeah, the day after, I forgot where I was going with that. I'm sorry, my mind went blank. That's all right. But yeah, they have ties with drywall. I believe drug connections, and I know that their group was going out and stealing anything they could find. Tony Hammonds, 2 days after Summer disappeared, got busted in Kingsport trying to abduct that 12-year-old boy, and that's.
I don't know. I think there's a ring of these people that Don and them hang out with.
I think he's in jail right now. I hope he's still in jail. But we got these detective friends of ours that are looking into all this stuff. They've found all kinds of information. They've turned it all into TBI. And I don't understand exactly what's going on. Who do you have? Really, who do you have looking into it? I could give you their number. If you want to call them and talk to them, I'd be honored to do that. What's their name? What's their name? Michelle and some friends.
Tony Hammond, he is not a good person at all, and he didn't he try to abduct someone in Kingsport?
But it'd probably be better if I contacted them and give them your number. But I'm trying to bring all this stuff to light because I don't know what police are doing. I don't know what TBI is doing. Sure. I know a lot of people talk a big talk, and then they come out here and they're just worried about their own agenda. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, that's what you were saying about me. Yeah, and if I'm wrong, I apologize to you. Well, that's okay. I mean, I don't take anything personal. I appreciate that. So I have a question though. Let's go back to the day. Okay. Yes. Unpack that day for me. When did you leave for work? And then when the 911 or when you. I left early that morning. Summer was by my side, and I left for work. And I worked all day, and then I called her at some point. I guess when she was in Walgreens, I says, "Well, what are you doing?" And so she said something about taking them out to the lake or whatever. And I thought, well, hell, I might as well just work late because there's no point in me going home. They're out doing their thing, and I might as well just stay late and do what I can. And then
notice how he pauses right there. Well, because in a lot of times, Don says, well, there was no point in me going home and staying alone, but he wouldn't have been alone. His boys was supposedly there according to their story. But Don didn't go to work early that morning. 100%. He did not go to work that morning. He didn't technically work at all that day. He went later on that evening, right before the 911 call was made, so he could have this little alibi.
My boss come by and made fun of me. She's about my cars. I was using that brand new car for drywall.
That was the day before. Don's boss actually came and made fun of him because he brought a brand new car, the brand new Subaru, and threw his drywall stuff in there the day before. But he tried to make it seem like it was the day Summer went missing. That did not happen on the 15th. And his boss has said so.
Hard time about that. I was talking to her. Now, you said Summer was by your side. What does that mean? She was asleep by my side when I woke up. Okay, got it. And what time was that approximately?
That creeps me out. That really creeps me the hell out. She was asleep by his side. No. Mm-mm. I just cannot. I cannot. That is just, to me, that's inappropriate that a girl or anything is by his side like that of the morning. No. Because, guys, let's just be real here. Guys can wake up a little different of the morning, especially if we got to pee or something like that. And that is just wrong. That is all kinds of fucking wrong.
I'd say about 7. Okay. Maybe earlier, 6:30 or 7, somewhere in there. Okay. And yeah, she had to be by me. She just had to be by me. That's her personality. Yeah. No. Yeah, she loves me to death. I could say just one harsh word to her and she would break down. I'd have to apologize to her 10 times over. Right. I mean, it just kills me that she's gone. And her room was right next door to yours, too. Yeah, and we tried to make her sleep in her own bed, and she'd come to me with big tears in her eyes and say, "But Daddy, I want to sleep with you. Yeah. I want to be with you." And I couldn't say no. I just couldn't. And how long has she been doing that? For 5 years. Wow. All her life. Every night?
Girl mom. And he sat to pee. Yeah, he certainly did. Don sits to pee. Yep. You're absolutely right. He sits to pee.
Yes, sir. Wow, that's a bond. Yes. Yeah. Wow. And so walk me through it. What time do you get up, and what do you remember last about seeing Summer? All I remember is
what's interesting here is he says other times he says Summer would want to go to bed early, and he said I would take her down in her room and put her to bed. Well, Don, if you guys would have sat with her in her room while she went to sleep, or even if she fell asleep in your bed while you read her a bedtime story and put her in her bed afterward, that's one thing, right? Put her in her bed. But this sleeping the whole night, and Dawn would say she had to be next to me. And let's just be honest here. I don't think Candace has a maternal, paternal bone in her body, like of comfort. You know how you comfort your kids, and I don't think these kids ever got that at all.
When I woke up, it's her feet and her foot being under me, kind of, I remember her being there, and I covered her up a little bit or whatever and left. And she being there, and I covered her up a little bit or whatever and left. And
does he say I loved her and left?
she's eating her foot being under me, kind of, you know. I remember her being there, and I covered her up a little bit or whatever and left. And
He said his foot was, or her foot was pinned underneath of him. And he covered her up, and he said, whatever. Okay. I didn't know if he said whatever or loved her and left. Or whatever. Okay. Thank you.
She sleeps just right between me and Mom every night, you know. Right.
If he said whatever, it didn't happen, I don't believe.
But, yeah, I just went to work, normal day. Luckily, you know, I guess, that a couple of guys I talked to that day, and the big boss seen me that day, knows where I was. And it wasn't 30 minutes, 40 minutes after Jamie left. From we sit there and talk for 30 minutes, just sit there and talk, you know.
That did not happen. That was the day before.
After he left. Okay. Jamie's he's another finisher that was working out here. Got it. So you leave the house. What car do you take that day? I forget. I had the Subaru that day. Okay. Yeah. Why didn't you take your?
Now, he said he has the Subaru here. You guys heard it with your own ears. And the other day, if you were here, I played when Chris did an interview with him maybe 2 years ago. He says on the labs with Josh that my microphone just went out. 1 second. Can y'all hear me? He said that he did not take the Subaru that day on Josh's from the labs. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix this damn microphone. Okay, hopefully this will do it. So which one is it, Don? Which one is it? Let me fix this. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. Make sure it's the right one. Oh shit. Why is it doing that? One second. Okay, let's see. That should be better. So sorry about that. Okay. So he says that he does not take his truck, or sorry, the red car that day. Mm-hmm.
Truck that day. People are going to ask. Well, because the car was just sitting there, and I'm paying these payments, $600 a month plus the insurance, and it's just sitting there. And I thought, well, I might as well get some use out of it. And I threw on my.
That doesn't make sense. He wanted to get some use out of that car. Candace kept those damn roads hot every single day. And it doesn't make any sense that she didn't take her car that day anyways. It would have taken less gas if she would have took her mom to the hospital.
And started driving for a little while, just because. Yeah. And so, mainly product. Yeah. So you take the truck, or the car. How far away is your job? What are you doing? It is 45 minutes away in Jonesboro. All right. Yeah. And then, what time do you get there? Do you remember? I don't. I probably went and had some breakfast, somewhere or whatever, and come out here. I don't remember for sure. No, I don't. Okay. What time do you call Candace, if you remember? I'm just trying to figure out.
He probably went and had some breakfast that day. You can't remember the alibi. You can't remember the day your child was taken. Like, you should be able to remember everything because it's freaking scars you.
The timeline and the window. I'm trying to think. I'd say, maybe 3 o'clock or something like that. Okay.
Listen to that. Listen to that.
I'm trying to figure out the timeline and the window. I'm trying to think. I'd say, maybe 3 o'clock or something like that.
Maybe 3 o'clock. Wonder why he said 3 o'clock. I wonder why he said 3 o'clock. Is my mic good now? Is my mic good now? I hope so. Okay. Because his the mic, or not the mic, shit. I'm worried about the mic. The reason he said 3 o'clock is because it was all going down at 3 o'clock. Right? Remember, Candace got home at about 3:15 with Summer. 3:11, 3:15. The tree trimmers was getting off at anywhere from 3 to 3:30. Right? And Don is saying 3 o'clock here. He won't give any other times other than 3 o'clock. Thank you so much, Muscle, my love. Easier to get in to Candace. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. If Candace took Subaru, that would make no sense. Used it on his 7 alibis. LOL, it did. Yeah. Don used to say, I have 7 alibis and Candace has none. Thank you so much, dear Muscles. Appreciate you very much, my dear. Yes, exactly.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure of that at all. And where was she when you called her? Do you know? So I think she said she was either at Walgreens or headed to the lake.
Now, okay, so he says at 3 o'clock, when he was talking to Candace. No, Mother Chicken, that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. Because at 12:21, look at my timeline here. At 12:21 is whenever they were at the Warriors swimming park at 12:21. They had already been to Walgreens. So it had to be before 12:21. It had to be about anywhere from, I would say, 11:30 to 11:50 when Dawn talked to them that morning. So you're lying through your ass, Dawn. Lying through your ass there.
I can't remember. Okay. But that's why I thought, well, I might as well just stay and work because, that's just what I do. But,
I'm so sorry, Nancy.
Yeah, I mean, so when When you got the call, what was the first thing that came to your mind? Well, she called frantic, panicking. And I said, well, just in case, hang up and call 911. And, and I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was 5:30, but they keep.
I bet you thought it was 5:30. I bet you did.
Tell me it's 6:26. That's what the 911 says. But to be honest with you, I don't trust police. Okay. And we showed them all that.
Now, notice how he starts right there. I thought it was 5:30. To be honest with you, I don't trust police. I mean, the time is the time, mother chicken. It is what it is. What does you having to do with trusting the police? They are trying to find your daughter. It's not about you, Mr. Wells. It's not about you, right? It's about finding your daughter. Unless it's something that you could incriminate yourself with. Now, that's the question. Sounds like Don was trying not to incriminate himself. Remember, they're trying to find your daughter, Don, and whoever took or did something with your daughter. Not trying to, incriminate the parents unless the parents has done something to incriminate themselves. And you would have to ask yourself the question, why would any parent not be cooperative and forthcoming and withholding information and changing their story to their child's alleged abduction?
Information on our phones because they wanted to know. They wanted to know the timeline.
Just listen to that again.
They keep telling me it was.
Just listen to that.
For some reason, I thought it was 5:30, but
it's just very interesting how he goes from one to the other.
They keep telling me it's 6:26, and that's what the 911 says. But to be honest with you, I don't trust police. Okay. And we showed them all the information on our phones because they wanted to know. They wanted to know the timeline, so we showed them right then. When I got there, they wanted to know all that, and they wrote it all down. And when you got there, do you remember what time you arrived? I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention.
Has no idea. He wasn't paying attention. Well, Don, why don't you just pull up your Facebook log? Remember, you said you and Candace talked the entire way home, and there was no interruption. That's a good question too, Raymond. How did he always know something was going to happen to Summer? Well, he's been arrested in many states for breaking the law. Yeah. Yep. Indeed. Absolutely. Hobo is late. How you doing, Hobo? Hobo, to the office, please. You're being paged. Hobo, to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a late slip for our Hobo. Love you, darling.
And I was on Messenger with Candace as she was driving her mother's truck around looking for her in the area. Okay. So I talked to her the whole way there, and it's really kind of weird that we was able to talk all the way there because normally we don't have connection like that.
Well, this is just the time that God, I guess, intercepted and put a line straight through, and that was no interruption. No, it didn't happen, Don. Candace could not have been on Ben Hill Road. I had AT&T, still have AT&T, and in the fall and winter of 2021, I was on Ben Hill Road. You could not get one bar. It had this circle with a slash through it. There was no service on Ben Hill Road. But Don says they talked the entire time without any interruption.
Right.
But he says he doesn't know what time he got home. But, he's not checking his phone calls either because he says they've magically been deleted, all three of them.
Odd. And what was she driving? Her mother's truck. That the Chevy, the Silverado? Yeah. And what was Grandma doing when you showed up? I don't even know what she was doing. I think talking to the police and probably just standing there looking or whatever. I don't know. And what were the boys doing? Looking for Summer. And then
Don says when we got there, when I got up on the hill, they separate Candace and I, and they're doubting us. Damn right. If you've ever been on Ben Hill Road and you've been up to their house, there's no way in hell some rando stranger is going, like, this is the last place that someone's going to abduct a kid.
Once all the police started arriving, they, bottlenecked all the roads, nobody could move. So they was in a state of confusion and panic, I'd say, now, cops in and out. Was there a car at the bottom of your driveway when you pulled up? Like a cop car or anybody? You just pulled right in? There was nobody there. I was the first one there.
He is lying through his ass right here. And Chris from the interview room proved that. And then Don said, oh, well, there might have been a cop there. There might have been a cop or two there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yep. And what about when you got there, what was your first impression of where you should search first? Well, that's why I drove down to the bottom, because I didn't even go to the house. I went straight by that shed on the bottom. Yeah, is that the one where off the bottom of your property to the left? Yes. Okay. I got that little dirt road. I went past that. I went straight down that hill, straight to the creek, and that's when I seen my boys. And then I seen my neighbor Don walking to the left side, and the boys were on the other side of the hill. And I knew, like I say, my heart just sank right there. I just knew she was gone. And what brought you to that place first and not to the house? Well, I figured they was looking all over the house, and I was thinking, well, they probably ain't been out buying property yet or anything, so that's what made me drive down there first. Okay.
But Candace said they sent the kids over the hill to look for Summer, and she said, we, quote, prayed to God that no one would take them either. So immediately, Candace is saying, we immediately thought that someone took Summer. Hey, Sarah, darling. We immediately thought someone took Summer because we were praying, someone took Summer. So let's go ahead and send 3 children over the hill and let's pray to God that nobody takes them. But Don says the boys were down there looking for Summer whenever he arrived at the building. No, Don, you went to that building for a fucking reason.
Okay. No. And then, did you go into that shed? No. Is that yours too, by the way, real fast? Yeah, that's ours. Well, I did. I don't know if I checked it then or later, but I know I.
He doesn't know. He can tell us if there was a car or not at the bottom of the hill. he can tell us certain things, but he can tell us the boys were down there, but he can't tell us whether he checked that shed or not. First off, that's convenient.
I did go in there and look, but I'm not sure if it was right then, or I might have parked and walked in there and looked real quick. I just don't remember. But once I knew she was gone, I went to the top of the house, went up the driveway up there. Well, so why wouldn't you have gone into the shed? I'm curious. I may have. I just can't be sure on that. Okay.
If you're looking for your child, you're going to go into the sheds. That's one of the first places you're going to go. You're going to check all your buildings. I may have. I just can't remember. You don't want to remember.
I went in there, but I'm not sure if I went in there right then.
Exactly.
Or if I went in there at a later time. I'm not sure. Okay. And then go ahead. I'm listening. Well, once the police started arriving and everything, I was like, man, I'm going to go question all these damn drug dealers and everything like that. And, and they reluctantly said, go ahead. I says, I think y'all should put pressure on them and get a list of every person they know.
Yeah, he's going to go check these damn drug dealers, as he's probably got cokes, coming down his nose. Yeah, these drug dealers. He's going to get right on that real quick, mother chicken. He is just sticking whatever to, throwing whatever and hoping it'll stick. All this is why no one buys your crap. Yep.
And if it was me, I'd lock them up or whatever and then start asking questions, but it's not up to me. But
it's amazing. Don says, it's very interesting. He says here, he will say, if it was me, I would lock him up. But then when Chris asked Don, what do you think should happen to the person who did something to Summer? Should they go to prison? I don't know about that, man. Death is better than prison. But you would lock up the rug dealers, but you wouldn't lock up the person who did something to Summer? Noted. Why would you do that? Why from your perspective? Because okay, Ben Hill Road, if you go back far enough there, Fred Hill lives back there. And I don't want to get him in trouble or nothing, but he everybody goes back there looking for pills, meth, or whatever it is they're looking for, And this was the same guy that you went to after, within 3 hours of Summer missing. You're back at his house. Candace was at his house while she was supposedly searching. Took the thought right out of my brain. So you are at this rug dealer's house, talking to him, saying you'll see her in the resurrection, all of this. And Candace is down there with Chad Arnold.
And we see all kinds driving back through there. We even see a car coming back there just barely running on 2 cylinders, just everything they got to get back there to ask him if he's got a pill or whatever, It's crazy. My neighbor has caught people parking our driveways, sitting there doing drugs, either early in the morning, later on, or whatever, many times over. So basically, that's a drug corridor. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Okay. Yes. And so people go up there to cop dope. Yes, or they, and then there's the other places. I don't know where they're all at, but they, they all intermingle, and you know how that kind of works, I guess. But well, yeah, I mean, there's there's a lot of dynamics always, right? There's a lot of moving parts. So back to summer for a minute. So when you got to the house, and did you go into the house at any time? Well, yeah, I went in the house, out of the house. I mean, we was turning everything, looking everywhere. We didn't know what to do, and the police started pulling up, and this and that. And, yeah. And where did you search? Pretty much everywhere. In the sheds, the shed right there by the house, all the sheds, everything. I look everywhere. Mostly I screamed at the top of my lungs. So I was like,
here he said we checked the sheds. We remember checking the sheds, but you can't remember if you checked the shed when you first pulled up.
A kid for summer, hoping that she was just lost and around there close somewhere. Right. And then what about in her bedroom and stuff? Did you look down there? Well, yeah.
Seriously, to the office, please. You're being paged. Seriously, to the office, please. You're being paged. Hey, Lakeside. How are you doing, darling? Good to see you. Thought he couldn't remember exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Candace went under too. And she looked under everywhere, under everything, Right. She told me. Right, but that was different than you, though, right? Did you? Yeah, but I did. Yeah, I looked everywhere also. Yes. And what about the door? I don't remember. No, I do know that the boys.
Listen.
We cuss them because they just leave it wide open all the time. Right. I'm like, man, you got to keep that locked or shut, and they just don't listen.
They would cuss the boys because they didn't keep that door locked. Which is interesting because Candace said when they left that day, they said that the doors were locked, nobody in and nobody out. Guys, come on. We're almost at 1,000 thumbs up. Let's get to 1,000. Come on. Hit that thumbs up one good time. CM said last night he's not going. Yeah. Trust me, none of us are giving up on summer. And I do believe we're getting close. I do believe. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that comment. Thank you. Was someone coming in to steal some trash? Right. Then she couldn't remember if the door was locked when she had Chris in the dungeon. Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much, Lakeside. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, right? Appreciate the idea. Thank you so much. There was a blue couch in the front door. Yes, down in the basement, there was a blue couch. Hey, Greenez. And there was a two-way tinting. You couldn't see inside either.
Right. Could Summer open that door? Probably so. Yeah, I would say so, yeah. How many times you?
Probably so. So, if your daughter can open up a door or not, and if she's ever went out of that door or not. Hey, Marlon, good to see you. Carol. Lolo Gian, good to see you.
She's open it if you know. I don't know, but she's pretty intelligent for her age. She's real intelligent, very smart, very agile. Yeah, Miss Robin said that too.
2 hours and 20
minutes. Yeah, she loves to run. I could be running my lawnmower, and she would just run behind me constantly the whole way, nonstop. The boys would be riding their little motorcycles, And she'd be right behind them all the way, over and over around the house, time just nonstop. Plenty of energy. Would she chase them? Well, she'd just be running behind them, laughing. Right. She wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like just kids, having fun. Like little kids do. Yeah, she don't even need a bike or motorcycle. She, Right. So tell me more about her personality. She just loved, she would always come to me, Dad, hold my hand so I can twirl. And I'd hold my arm there, and she'd just sit there and twirl till my arm just about give out. She loved to do that. Sometimes we play rock and roll music or whatever music, and she liked that song Godzilla. I had it saved on my phone, and everybody put me down for that. But for something about Godzilla, she just liked. She'd always say, well, he's a nice monster. He gets all the bad monsters.
That makes me, when he says this here, when he says, she says that he's not a bad monster, he's a good monster. It reminds me of the 2 registered child RSOs that Don and Candace and his ex-wife Pam lived with. One of them well, they both lived there on the property, but one of them was R-ing 4 children in the house. I've got the police reports and all that. And he wore a mask. And he called himself the Boogeyman. And he was sentenced to 120 years. And he said, he told the kids, if you tell anyone, the Boogeyman is going to get you. Yes, that's his name. Gregory McGorder. And Don says this, and it just makes me like, oh, he's a good monster. And it just makes me cringe when I hear that.
Down for that, but for something about Godzilla, she just liked. She always said, well, he's a nice monster. He gets all the bad monsters. He takes care of all the bad monsters. So if they only knew, right? If the little kids only knew. And so when you pull up and you see Grandma, what was Grandma doing? Just kind of standing there dumbfounded, if I remember right. Do you get along with Candace's mom? I haven't for a long time. We fought for a long time. She's the reason I got arrested and charged the way I did, because she told him I put real bullets in a muzzle loader. And that was 10 years mandatory, no bond. Tell me about that. Well, when I come back from Utah, I was trying to move my family to Utah. I've always knew that something was going to happen to Summer. Something in my gut has always told me, and I've always told Candace, watch her closely.
I think you thought you was going to happen to her, Don. Your, in my opinion, tendencies. Thank you so much, Miss Pamela. Appreciate your super sticker, my dear. Thank you so much, Don. Thank you so much, my dear. I know, me too. Yeah, Kimbo, I was the one who broke the news that Don and Candace lived with those 2 RSOs. I've got a whole live on it. We're going to review it one day, probably pretty soon. It's a really hard live to go over, though. It's a really, really hard live to go over.
That's my baby. Do not let nothing happen to her. I told her that all the time. What brought you to that thought? I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was, or I just always had this feeling that something's gonna happen to her. I didn't know know she's just going to get accidentally run over. I didn't know what it was.
Did you think she would be kidnapped?
Never. Never, nothing like that.
Okay.
No. I just knew it was something. I just had this intense love for her, and I think she knew something too. So I think something was. I don't know if you believe in guardian angels or what, but it's something. It's something.
So you get back. So walk me through that incident, because I know that was the one that you got arrested, right?
Yeah. Well, so I get back from Utah. Candace tells me that she moved a man in the house. She didn't tell me he was gay and all this and that. She wanted me to come back. Okay. So of course I'm mad. I'm coming across the United States 110 mile an hour average in that little truck. And I got a ticket to prove it. But anyways, he didn't take me to jail. I told him, I told him what's going on. And he says, he gave me a big break and says, slow down, man. You got to get there alive, you know. But he was really cool. And so I come on and get there. And, you know, the first day, everything's kind of okay. And then we start.
How does he know something is going to happen to Summer? And he says he even thinks Summer knew something was going to happen to her.
Drinking a little bit. And Candace had told him I messed around on him one day, and which I did. I totally, you know, I regret it. There's a big mistake I ever made with her.
Which I'm done.
Messed around on her at one time, but they started jumping on me, her and Candace and him. And I was going to hit him in the head with a beer bottle. It was full of beer, but at the last second, I just threw it to the wall.
Is this that Jose guy?
Yeah, and so I had all three of them jumping on me, you know.
Right.
Yeah, the Jose guy, her, and Candace's mother were all jumping on me, and the cops got called. Candace, after I threw that beer bottle at the wall, the cops got called, and that's when her mother's, you know, said, well, he's got a gun in the glove box. I says, well, it's just a muzzle loader. I mean, I'm allowed to have a muzzle.
You can't, okay. You can't fit a muzzle loader in a glove box, by the way. If you know what a muzzle loader is, you can't fit them in a glove box. They are big pew-pews.
Loader, and she says, yeah, but he puts real bullets in it. Oh, you know, and she's, you know.
Is that how she hurt her knee?
He's lying.
Well, she was pushing me. She kept pushing me. Jose would say something like, I remember the one thing he said is, once a cheater, always a cheater, because his wife left him or cheated on him, so he's taking out on me at this point. And he, every time he would say something.
Well, you said Jose liked chicks with wee-wees. And that's what you guys said. But he had a wife, dum-dum.
And she would push me. He'd go say something else, she'd push me again. I never hit her or nothing, but the last time she pushed me, I pushed her out of the way, and I was going to hit him with that beer bottle, and she fell. I didn't even realize she fell. You know, or I pushed her to, you know, whatever. I was just trying to get her out of the way because I was going to nail him. And so, of course, she went and called the cops and told them. She didn't tell them the whole truth.
Yeah, what is it? So, yeah, tell me the truth. Because
she said that I was pushing her and hurt her and all this and that, you know. But my intention was just to push her out of the way so I could hit him. I didn't want her, you know, if me and him was going to fight or whatever, I didn't want her right there.
Right.
But you know,
imagine living like this. This is how they still live. Like, this is how they still live. They're up on the hill fighting constantly. Didn't have no problem getting a hold of Ellie. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? They had no problem getting a hold of Ellie there. And, I just thought of something. Hold on. One second. I just thought of something I'm going to do. I can find out something. I'm going to bust them in another lie. I see you. I just texted you something.
It was acting real funny. See, another thing is, too, though, on her behalf, so I was at a party in Utah at my sister's house. Well, I told her the truth is I was at my sister's house at a party just to eat the free food because I had to go home, and I was staying in a trailer to get to sleep so I could go to work the next day. But what she heard was I was partying, I gotta go. That's all she heard. So that, after we talked about that and everything, we straightened it all out. And I'm like, no, that's not at all. I was just trying to get some food and go home.
Missiles.
So she thought you were cheating. Yeah. So that's how. Yeah. And you thought she was cheating. Right. Well, she wanted me to think that, but
first of all, they're both cheaters. Number one. They're both cheaters. They both have cheated on each other.
She wasn't. What did Grandma think? She's never liked me, but I think it's changed now, I think me and her, we get along a little bit better now, but at first we hated each other. Well, why doesn't she like you, though? She don't think I'm good enough for her daughter and all this and that. Interesting. And what was she doing during the fight with Jose? I'm not sure. I think she was standing there or whatever. And that's the night she hurt. Her mom hurt her knee that night, didn't she? I don't know if she hurt her knee or whatever. I have no idea. Her knee's been messed up. Yeah. And for a long time. You said she was getting in the way when... No. Well, Candace was the one pushing me. Okay. Jose would say something, and Candace...
Dawn's the victim in this, y'all. Dawn's the victim.
Would just shove me as hard as she could. I mean, she was shoving me hard. Okay. So it was about the fifth or sixth time she shoved me. I just was trying to push her out of the way. I was gonna, get Jose. But afterwards, we straightened it all out.
I don't think it's a question.
See each other's side. Clearly, we forgive each other and just want.
Yeah, Don's in his 60s now. He's in his 60s. He's like 63-ish, 64-ish. Still acting like a heathen.
Sure. Where's Jose now? That night, Candace's mom told him, when they took me to jail, Candace's mom said, get your crap and get in that truck. You're out of here. Now, how do you know that? Because you were in jail. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what they both told me. Okay. Yeah. And what happened to him? She took him all the way to North Carolina to some woman's house. We don't know what happened to him after that. Why would Grandma take this guy to North Carolina?
Exactly.
Because she was just tired of him, tired of his BS. But North Carolina is kind of a drive, don't you think? It depends on what part of North Carolina you go to. It's just over the mountains. The border's right on, the top of the mountains. Okay. Over by, is that Cherokee in that area? I don't know. I have no idea.
Candace is what? Candace is a lot younger than him, like 20 years.
Just going by what they told me, Yeah, that's cool. But I believe it. Now, and then, so getting back to the baby here, because this is all this information. I appreciate it. I'm just, we're gonna flush through it. So now, when you get back to the house, do the cops ask you to hang on and stay on the property, or walk me through that day? Well, they kind of want me to stay there or whatever, but I'm like, man, you need to let me go question at least the drug dealers that I know of and find out, and let me at least try to figure out something. I can't just sit here and do nothing. Do you think a drug dealer took her? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I've talked to Fred Hill many times, and he's got his meth problems, and he might wheel and deal to keep him.
How do you know he's got meth problems, Don? How do you know he's got meth problems? I mean, he might have been arrested on meth before. I think he was arrested on meth before. But, you don't associate with that kind of life, though, do you, Don? Remember, you have to check on YouTube to see what people from meth, is doing, how they behave, right?
So gone or whatever like that. But I just don't see him as being that kind of a person, no. Have you known any kids to be traded for dope? Never in my life. Okay. I've never even heard of anything like that before. Okay. I think it'd be interesting to see if one would even do anything like that, because I think most of them tell you that they'd probably beat the hell out of you. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I think some of them got more integrity than that, even though they're a damn drug dealer, Sure. I don't know. Well, I mean, with the intensity of meth and, craziness, right? Is it possible? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. The thing that
he sure did. He sure did. He did try to trade his oldest for rugs. And also I've got a recording of him saying you would sell your soul for rugs whenever you're, addicted.
Bothers me the most is Dudley Ajan, because he would do anything to get at me. And we know he has an alibi, but that doesn't mean that he didn't get with the Hammonds or somebody,
There's the Hammonds again. And the Hammonds, they, I think it was a week after Summer disappeared, one of the Hammonds tried to abduct a little boy while someone was mowing. So, again, he's just trying to place that name there.
And we know that they have ties because of Facebook. These detectives have told me that they have ties. They've worked with him. They know each other.
That's interesting. Don says these detectives, that's interesting that they have ties because of Facebook. Don, what kind of ties did you have on Facebook? That's my question. Do you know someone named Randy? Do you know someone named Randy, Don? I think you do. Mm-hmm. There's that. Oh, thank you, Amy. That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I don't have much, but I want to share with you. I appreciate all the time and effort you spend on these cases. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. That is that's so generous. I appreciate you very, very much, my dear. That's a very kind message. That is so very sweet. Thank you so much, my friend, and thank you for those kind words, and thank you for being a member. I really do appreciate that very much.
It was psycho. You say these detectives, not TBI, the people you're working with. Right. Okay, great. Yes. Okay. And I'll gladly give you their number if maybe you guys can get together. I don't know. I just, like I said, I don't hardly trust anybody anymore. I don't trust the police anymore. why would, I mean, there's just so much weird stuff like this. It just blows me away. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts for sure. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not my first rodeo, though, as you know.
It's me, Jen. Thank you so much for renewing your membership, my love. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. We're almost at 1,000 thumbs up, y'all.
Right. I'm sure you've done your homework. And so I want to stay focused on that day, because this is
Donna Pittman. I promise you, she is deceased. If you go to my Justin for All channel, there is a video of me talking on a live stream directly to the funeral home. I had to research all the funeral homes, but I found the one, and she definitely died.
It's critical that day. Yes. And you say this guy, you have this feeling that this guy's involved. What brings you to that feeling, even though you say he has an alibi? Because he would have done anything to get back at me. So revenge. Like I say, yeah, revenge. He tried everything in the world. Like, he called Jesse and his dad several times and he told them all kind of stuff to try to get me fired. And all I would say in my defense is, see, that's what he does every day. That's exactly what he does every day. Okay. We don't need that kind of stuff on the job.
You're talking about Allie, who was Candace's friend Hunter's mom. One more till a chicken party.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's an all this and that. Because he's just drama every single day, Where's he been since Summer's been missing? I don't know. I know the police have been to his house. He had his truck up on jacks, and he's definitely got alibis. What kind of truck, real fast before you go past?
1,000% acting badly.
There's a picture of it, because he drove to my house, and we rode in my truck because we had a long distance to go that day. And it's just been a fight with him. You know how some of these meth people are. You can't reason with them. You can't. They start.
Hunter looks like a 50-year-old man. He looks terrible. Last time I saw him, he has that kid. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that kid has been through? I mean, having Andrew as your father, and Allie, I don't want to talk bad about her or anything, but she was not very present. And all of this stuff that happened with Summer and all that. He didn't drive it. He didn't drive yacht. January 2026 will be 2 years. Yeah. You have snow. Do you like snow, Magic? I don't like snow.
Or seeing stuff, they start thinking everybody's after them, and they start thinking all kind of weird stuff, So there's just no. A normal person cannot be around somebody who's on meth. Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah, right. And so.
And Don says something there that it just kind of reminds me of Jack and Lily's case. He said, and I have said this a long time, but Don would know, you can't be around, a normal person can't be around someone on math for that long. And that takes me back. How would have Malaya been able to put up with Daniel for 3 years on math without her being on it? I don't see how that would.
What color was his truck? Yellow. There's a picture of it somewhere. I can't remember where. Somewhere on Facebook or somewhere. It's been going around, but it's pictured. Where Summer's dancing in the rain. Okay. You can see it in the background. Yes. And was he on the property that day, if you know? Yes, yes. What time? When he went, well, when we come back to get, we come back and then he got in his truck and went home.
He's so full of shit here. He's so full of shit here. He was on the property that day. So that means, now just think of this right here. He says he came back that day and he got in his property, or he got in his truck and got home. Dudley was not on the property the day Summer went missing because you fired him the day before. Don, you just said in this interview, you fired him the day before. Number one. Number two, the police were already there at the property. Remember, you went to the building beforehand. Oh, the day of the video. Okay, my bad. My bad. I took that wrong, I guess.
Okay, when you say when we come back, when did you get in the truck? Right. When I'd say we probably got back around 6:30, maybe 7. Sometime late. It was a long day, And so, how did he get back with you? In this little white truck. Okay. We rode together way out past Greeneville, way out there somewhere. Can't remember now. So, did you did a job up there that day? Yeah, we was way out in trying to remember what it's called now, but my mind's blank. With him? Yes. Yeah, we rode together to save gas and everything. Plus, that Troy his big piece of junk. But. And is that where you got the phone call from Candace? No. This was way prior to this. When we was working out here in the meadows in Jonesboro is when I fired him. Okay.
And that is where Don says he was working at that day, the meadows, but he wasn't.
And he kept, yeah. And that was the day before.
See, Don would get high on the mathematics, and he would work all hours. He would go there at 2 a.m. sometimes and work.
Right? Yes. Okay. The day before Summer disappeared. And so...
Right.
Then did you come back with him that day or the day Summer disappeared? To the job? Yes. Yeah, I come back to work on the job and try to clean it up, and I was talking to some of the guys out there. I told them, come on over here and look at this job over here. Look at this. And they was...
listen.
I come back to work on the job. And so then did you come back with him that day or the day Summer disappeared? To the job? Yes. Yeah, I come back to work on the job and try to clean it up, and I was talking to some of the guys out there. I told...
You see, Chris is getting him right there. Did you come back to work with him that day or the day Summer disappeared? He doesn't really answer it, but he says, yes. Well, I came back to the job and tried to clean it up. He's so dumb. Hey, Misty, good to see you.
Come on over here and look at this job over here. Look at this. And they was like, wow. They couldn't believe it. This guy is working.
Candace is late. Oh, my God. Hold on. Candace, to the office, please. Candace, to the office, please. Late slip for Candace. Hello, Trishi. Good to see you, darling. Summer was left in the truck asleep and was left there for hours and died of heat exhaustion. Is that your opinion? If you delete text, it's still in the trash for 30 days. Yeah. The cops can get
it. It's just horrible.
Once you type something, it is never deleted. It is always going to be there. The cops can always get it, no matter if you did it
And
whenever.
he's just out there. He is just big time out there. I don't know.
Sounds like he was tweaking.
Yes, but like worse than any tweaker I've ever seen. It could have been meth, but it's like worse than anything I've ever seen before. And I've seen some things.
He said it was
in my
there.
time, but this was like way worse. Like maybe he was mixing something. But it's like this Tony Hammond sitting broad daylight.
He said he was there that day because remember he talks about the kids being on the roof of the house on the 14th.
This kid's mowing his grass, and he goes and tries to grab him and stuff. And luckily they fought back and everything like that. And but it's like worse than that. I don't know what it could be. I have no idea.
You ever heard of crocodile?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
You think that he could be crackulating on that stuff?
It could be. It's something.
I want to use that in a clip. Chris saying, "Do you think he could be crackulating on?" I love when Chris says that. You think he could be crackulating? Yes, crackulating. It's like, let's get it percolating, but crackulating.
Something crazy because, we're supposed to be a team out here. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do butt joints. Okay. So I mix up $2 a month for butt joints. Next thing I know, he's on his steels.
That's the problem, Don. You are a butt joint. That is your middle name, Don Butt Joint Wells. That's what you look like in your underwear. You answer the door at 3 a.m. You are a butt joint.
Working on a tray on the high ceiling. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? We're supposed to be doing butt joints together. And he's mumbling some stuff and whatever. And I'm like,
you probably tried to do a butt joint with him. Wouldn't surprise me.
So I get down off my stilts and I set up mud for him so he can do that. And like I say, he spent 2 hours on that thing. That's something that should have took 20 minutes and just was cussing and like there's all kind of stuff in my mud. He asked me if I'd dump it out for him. I mean, he had mud slung everywhere. He'd grab a bucket. He's trying to do 100 mile an hour. I'm like, man, you got to slow down. You can't work like that.
Right.
And it was just on and on and on, day after day after day like that. But getting worse every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, that's all right. You finish your thought.
I was going to say, this is the 5th person in a row that I've had to fire over drugs.
Yeah.
The 5th one in a row.
Yeah. And
wow. 5th one in a row. What, did they steal your drugs, Don? Is that why?
After they get that paycheck, when it's all stars.
See, you hear Don, he says it's after they get that paycheck, because they go buy the rugs. Just like you, Don. Just like you get paid, and what do? You go to town for the weekend. You get a $30 motel room. You get a $30 hooker, and you get $1,000 in Coca-Cola. And you come back Sunday night, and you look like a whipped pup.
Yeah, and when he's been up on your property there, has he seen Summer?
Yes, and Candace said he didn't like the way that he was looking at her.
Tell me about that.
Well, I'm not sure. All I know.
That's what I think he's projecting right there, Muscles. He says, and Candace doesn't like the way Dudley was looking at her. What's the way that you look at people, Don? You creepy McCreeperton.
She was mad because he was looking her up and down, That's what she told me.
And when
she didn't like him.
When was that?
Several times. The first day that he was up there, and she's told me several times since then.
Did you think of him the day Summer disappeared?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think? What
he was my first suspect. He's my first suspect, and still is.
And
he hates Dudley. He hated Dudley. And I think it was because him and Dudley were probably a lot of like. Red Panty Bandit, yes.
Why did you tell me why?
He's the Red Panty Bandit of Ben Hill Road.
Because he's out to get me any way he can. He'll do anything to get at me.
So
he's out to get me. Or was you out to get him?
Except for face me face to face.
Got it. And so,
cowardly.
I understand. I respect that.
No,
but Don, you also cheated him on his paycheck.
And
when why do you think what would be his motive outside of to take her to revenge against you? Why would there be another reason in your head?
Well, okay, like 7 years ago, he worked with this company before, and he went through this crew, that crew, this crew. Then he
7 years and 4 scores.
Worked with me, and I worked with him for a half a day, and I was like, dude, I don't know what's up, but I'm going home. The next day by 11 o'clock, I'm like, dude, I cannot work with you. I don't know what your deal is, but I cannot. And this was like 7 years ago. And so I told my boss I can't work with him. Let him do his own apartment. I'm going over here. I'm going to work on this place. And then he messed all.
So 7 years ago, he couldn't work with him, but he gave him 50% of the business 7 years later. And 7 years and 7 alibis ago, what's with the number 7? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jen, I'm going to.
Ended up getting fired. His wife left him and took the kids.
Okay.
To another state.
Okay.
To another state.
So he took the kids?
No, she did.
To protect the kids?
Yeah, and plus right now he's on probation for something, and I don't know what that is. But one day I walked out to his truck, and he had one of them phony things that you pee out of.
Yeah.
You can put somebody else's pee in there.
Yeah.
He was putting one of those on and saying, well, I smoke my weed. I got to have something for my weed, man. I got to have my weed, And I'm thinking, where he's from, where he was living in West Virginia, weed's legal.
Yeah. Is that for his PO?
Yes. He was going to go do a drug test for his PO.
Weed is not legal.
And I thought, I didn't think much of it then. But after thinking about it, they don't care if you smoke weed.
Yeah.
That's the least of their worries.
Yeah. I used to supervise every Thursday night, everybody coming in and with the pea cup. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And you have to stand next to you and watch you piss, man. That's no fun.
No, I guarantee you it's not. I wouldn't want that.
Okay. So what's your fear then of
my biggest fear is that the heat's on him and he would get rid of evidence, meaning my daughter.
Right.
That's my biggest horrific fear.
Has TBI and FBI interviewed him?
Yes, and he's got alibis, and then they say, well, we just don't see him like that kind of a person. I say, you don't know him. You haven't seen his prison mentality come out like I have, or his thug mentality. I've seen it, and I tried telling them that, but it's just they don't even sink into them. It seems like to me. I don't know if they're really listening to me or just I don't know what TBI. They don't say nothing.
Now walk me through that. Were you in the joint with him?
No. I've been trying to straighten my life out for years since I found God. Right. You know, I was locked up in Utah, you know, and drugged back to prison many times for nothing. Right. I remember you told me this.
He cannot accept any accountability in his life whatsoever at all. This happened to me for nothing. This happened to me for nothing. I went to prison 27 times for nothing.
I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm by any means. You know, I've done stupid crap. And you know, you get in that revolving door. You know, you can go out and sell drugs or whatever you want.
He's got a very unique voice. Don does. I can't do it very well, but Josh can really do it much better, brother. He kind of sounds like an old surfer, but with some Appalachian in it. I don't know. It's weird.
And you're just going to get a slap on the wrist, do 4 or 5 months, and back out. Everybody knows that. Right, right. You get violated, and it's like a free party, kind of. Right. And yeah, I remember you told me that you were at Hill Air Force Base, and your PO told your boss and kind of snitched you out, and that kind of. They come out there too deep, and whatever they told my boss, he was just shaking in his boots. He's like, "Man, I can't do this." Yeah. You know? So they got me fired. And what were you in custody for? Can I ask you that? Well, I mean, I can find out. You know that. Well, yeah.
Listen, he doesn't want to talk about this. Listen to this. This is so interesting.
This guy is having a hard time with. He was messing with my sister, causing her a lot of trouble. And that's just an excuse. There's no excuse for what I did. But I hot-wired his truck. I took everything out of his garage. Harley stuff, everything, and loaded through it in the back of the truck and sold the truck and all for nothing. But there's no excuse. I did what I did. It was wrong. Okay. You know, I've heard worse. Go ahead. Yeah, but yeah, that, you know, stuff like that. What else you've been locked up for? I mean, what other things have you done? I don't remember. You don't remember? Come on.
You don't remember.
I've made trips to Mexico. You know. Were you running? Were you running down? Yeah, I bought cocaine. You know. And totaled a brand new truck coming back out of Mexico once. Just out for days on end. I'd get out in the middle of nowhere, think the Indians after me. I'd get back out on the freeway, and I think the cops after me. I didn't know which way to turn. Out in the middle of the desert, you know. And you used to take the 5 down or the 15? Yeah. I think, you know, we went to El Paso. Oh, yeah, Texas.
Long way to El Paso.
Yeah. And I just turned, you know, and that turned into a big nightmare. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, that's like the core. I was lost out there in southern Utah somewhere. I didn't know which end was up or down. Yeah. So you were running dope. You've done, you know, it sounds like you stole the guy's truck, and then. Well, let's just say I tried to run dope. Okay. It's hard for a doper to run dope. Yeah, that is a. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a very true story, man. Right there. Yeah. Right there. And then what about when this thought process comes to my mind here for a minute about what was she wearing that morning when you were same? Well, when she was asleep next to me, you know, I'm not sure. As I just woke up and they stayed in bed and I got gone to work. And I'm not sure, but I know the picture of her wearing where she's asleep by the milk jugs. That's what she was wearing when she was kidnapped. Okay. So it's the same outfit. Yes. And is that the outfit Candace said did she change when she went back in the house, or do we know? I don't think so. That's the outfit she was going to wear for her first day of school. Oh, so this is the outfit. So it had some sentimental value for her. Yeah. Did she pick it out? I don't know. I'm always at work. I I mean, I'm glad she got to go to all these places with her daughter. You know, for the first 2 years, 18 months or so, Summer, when she was born, she didn't want her mother. She only wanted me. That. Wow. And that just blew me away. I was like, I just couldn't believe it, you know, that she only wanted me. And Candace coerced her all these years by taking her to all these places, fishing and stuff. And it took all this time to get, but Summer loved her mother. You know, it took time. And I don't know why she was just so attached to me like that. I've never had anything like that happen to me before. And I was just so thankful, you know, I thank God, you know. Yeah. I've never had anybody love me like that. Yeah. No, I get it. What about, I want, now this one's going to be a hard question, okay? So, it's all right, brother. It's all right. Oh, well, I'm, you know, being straight with you. So, what, your ex-wife, years ago, tell me about that scenario where, you know, she went over and got the kids. My ex-wife got the kids. I don't know what you're talking about there. Well, she said that, you know, by the way, are you guys still on talking terms? Just, I might as well clear that. Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, I don't have no problem with her. I think she's gotten clean. Okay. She's had years of meth problems, but I think she's finally gotten clean and she's somewhat got her head straightened out. Okay. And so we've been talking, but yeah, there was, you know, where she said that you were kind of spun out and, you know, that your kids got with somebody else and, you know, she didn't know about it and she went and got them. I don't know anything about that. I have no idea. I never heard that, anything like that. Okay. And that's why I'm asking you. I mean, right? Yeah. I always go right to the source, you know what I mean? Right. And that kicks down a lot of information either way. Yeah. And no matter what, I mean, people are going to, you know, if she tells somebody this or that, there's a lot of he said, she said. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. That cocaine thing for me was really tough for me to get over for years, you know, and I'm not going to say a lie to you. Are you doing any drugs now? And will the cops? No. Did they take your blood?
He was absolutely doing rugs at this time. He absolutely was. It's absolutely crazy. He absolutely was. Hey guys, I am going to end it here. But I am going to be coming back here shortly. We're going to be talking about another case in about 30 minutes from now. We'll finish this one up later. You want snow? No way. I just uploaded Holy in Hood, by the way. I just uploaded the song to the intro. So if you guys want to listen to that, you can listen to that. We need a chicken party. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Let's do a chicken party.
Christopher! Katie! Daniel! A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
Girl, how I look? Like a damn fool. No, them veneers don't make that look no better. Girl, bye.
The following is an actual video of John Wells answering the phone call as a man that just got out of jail at 19 years old.
Hello? Hello? I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning my room!
RCMP, open up.
Get up off me. I said that's enough. Let my goddamn titty go. You act like you starving, Monquito. Now I said that's enough. You wanna bite me? Huh? Okay. That's how I feel. Now get up off me. Got these people recording me act like I don't feed your ass. And look at your damn daddy just sitting there. You need to come get your damn daughter. She get this shit from you. Now let my damn titty go. You didn't eat. Let it go. Because at this rate, I'm not gonna care if Monkey Protective Services come get your ass. Now let them go. You didn't eat and you acting like you starving. Okay, we won't listen. We won't listen. Who is that? Oh, I thought I heard something. Now get your... Okay, let me just turn my ass around. Now, didn't I tell you to let my shit go? Now, I'm not about to keep playing with you in front of these people. I'm trying... Okay. Let me see who looking. Okay, hey.
Who does this monkey remind you of?
Let me see what's going on with this little piece of fruit, baby. Clear my throat. Got a good little ring to it, not tart at all. Very sweet. Let me get on up here, baby. I don't need everybody in my mix. See, you don't need to see Big Mama eat her oranges. Go on back the camera up and stop playing with my time before I get active mode face.
I love that monkey. And the little piece of fruit here. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, me smell cocoa butter cheese. Yeah, right there. Give me a kiss. Damn. You got to be an Instagram model or something. Here, put this shit on your gram right here. There you go. Yeah. Give me a kiss. Yeah. Don't move. This one going on the wall in my trailer.
Stop. You love touching my belly. Oh, you make me feel so sexy and confident. Oh, let me back up so you can look at it. Hi, look, babe. Stop playing. I just fall hot when you do that to me, boy. Come on now. Oh, look at these legs and stuff you got. Oh, I think I want to touch and kiss up on you real quick. What's up? In public. Let's do it right here in public, babe. What's up, boy? Come on, let's do it in public, babe. Stop playing with my time. Come on, boy. Come on, babe. Let's do it in public. Ooh, don't start nothing. Won't be no start, no shoot, won't be no stuff. Come on now, touching my titties and all that. Come on, boy, in public. Ooh, let me take this leg real quick and then. Ooh, where you going? Where you going, babe? Come here. Touch on me. Tease me. Nah, for real. Come on, let's go. What you doing? Baby, come on now. We got to get to the barbecue. Stop playing now. Stop playing with my time. Oh, let me get up here. Oh, look at that butt. Oh, take this shirt off real quick. See, let's go on and get wet out. Let's show them the way, because you know I do what I do when I do it. Come on, babe. Come on. Oh, this shirt is cute. Come on now. And let me tell you something. Why you liking that girl photograph on Instagram? I told you about getting too friendly-handed on Instagram. Stop liking their pictures. Stop liking their pictures. Do you hear me? They don't need you to know you. Stop. Stop liking their pictures playing on my time. Come on, babe. Let's go. I'm hungry now. They waiting on us. I want me a rib sandwich with some little cheese. Boy, get from behind me. So you take me away from the pain and you bring me paradise. So it's pretty out of here, girl. What's going on? We need to go down there to that barbecue shack. See, last time they shorted me a rib. I need all my meat. I want to feel ribby. Playing with my time. Girl, I ain't know they closed down the food town. Nobody really shopped there anyway. Shit, they always play with people's time. Girl, look at Bonita. Dumb ass, playing with people's time. Girl, it's too hot out here to be having all that on, all that black. And the day at the jewel.
Oh my God! Look at Chris.
Back in, and Gerald Daugherty wants to watch the videotape.
Is that Chris?
Oh. Look at now.
A bullshit?
Oh. Look at now.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
They can shut their chicken tone, chicken bone, Google Chrome, no home flip phone, disown ice cream cone, garden gnome, student loan, full-blown Indiana Jones, overgrown Flintstone, X and Y chromosome, Fred Zone, Sylvester Stallone, AutoZone, Professionally Seen, Silver Patron, Head the fuck up. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Do appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this one. I will be back here in a little bit, probably 30 to 45 minutes, and we'll be talking about the next case. Really do appreciate you guys. You guys are all amazing. God bless each and every single one of you. Enjoy your life. You only get so many trips around the sun. Make it count. Make it count. Love you guys. See you guys later.